the life has been a movie. When I was wiping toilets, nobody respected me, society, the social norms. Now that I'm a restaurant owner, I'm the same guy that was wiping toilets 2-3 years ago. My name's Hakim. I'm 33, and my background, I'm from Afghanistan, but I'm born here. I'm a restaurant owner. I've opened up 2 locations in the past 2 years. I started out in Scarborough 2 years ago. May 15th was my grand opening. And now I've been open for 2 years now, and I have 2 locations. So as a child, I had a loving father and mother. My dad showed me work ethics. My dad owned a restaurant for 20 years, so I grew up in the kitchen. So yeah, we grew up poor though. I'm from Thorncliffe. You know, I've seen a lot of bad things. I've witnessed a lot of bad things, but that's just part of life. I love cooking. I think cooking is an art. You can express it. If I make food, you'll feel it. You'll taste it. You know, when I say made with love, I swear to God, I'm putting love into it. So that's my passion, cooking. My dad owned a restaurant for 20 years, so he owned a fine dining. Since I was in grade 6, I would take the bus to downtown, and I would help my dad. And yeah, that's how I learned. And I've been to a couple pasta joints. They're not the greatest, or halal, and I'm like, I can do better. So before this, I was a janitor at Toronto District School Board, a caretaker, and I worked at the hospital as well, doing housekeeping. And yeah, I did that for 10 years. It was a great job. I had a great time doing it. There's nothing wrong with doing it. I love cleaning toilets. And yeah, that's what I was doing for 10 years. What happened, we went on strike and COVID, and we went in front of Queen's Park and we were asking for a raise, and we were begging for $2-3, and we had to beg. And after that, I realized that like I can't be dependent on nobody. I have to be independent. And yeah, I had to make some changes in life. I wasn't happy either. I was living paycheck to paycheck. And yeah, I just had to make some changes in life to be like, I can't be doing the same thing and getting the same results. I have to change, be uncomfortable, take a risk, and especially believing in myself. And that's what I did. And I got tired of just doing a 9-to-5, you know? I worked for the government and all that, and just going on strike and stuff. I found a location, and this ghost kitchen, they needed money. I've never had this money in my life, and I still didn't have it. I was living paycheck to paycheck. So I had to ask all my friends for money to be like, hey, look, I have a dream, I have a passion, I'm thinking of opening up this restaurant, I have a takeout spot. So, you know, I started asking my friends, and, you know, I've never had this much money, like, even in my account. So to get this whole lump sum to pay for it was crazy. So I signed the lease with no money. So I had to give this guy in 2 weeks this amount of money. I didn't have it. So I started calling my friends. My friends were calling me, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you money. It didn't come through. So I called some of my buddies. They're like, I can't give you this much amount, but I'm like, okay, let me see if I can break it down. So I started asking people to give me, you know, just $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and I got the money. So, you know, there was a roadblock, and I didn't let it stop me, you know? And when there's a will, there's a way. I swear to God, when there's a will, there's a way. If you manifest it, it will happen. I swear to God. Read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's an amazing book, you know? It changed my life as well. But yeah, so, you know, I got the money, then I had to start the restaurant. Then starting the restaurant, we did it. We opened up, I got the money somehow. I swear to God, I don't know how I got it. You know, God blessing, you know, it just came out of nowhere from the universe. Got the money. I live paycheck to paycheck, so if I screwed this whole thing up, I would have been done. So my back was against the wall doing this. I had no money, you know? Now I'm starting up a restaurant with no money. You know, I borrowed people's money. So that stress I had was crazy. You know, I had to owe people back and stuff like that. We did it, we opened it. You know, I made a lot of mistakes, and I still make a lot of mistakes, you know? But, you know, you have to be resilient, you have to believe in yourself, and tomorrow's always another day, you know? So we did that, and now we're here. We have 2 locations, and inshallah, we're gonna open up a 3rd one, a 4th one, you know? And yeah, and if I didn't take that risk. And the thing is, it's just not me. My younger brother's in this, so, you know, compliments to my brother. I would have never done it without him, you know? And yeah, so, you know, now we're here. You know, people want to ask me about my restaurant and what I did. You know, before this, I was wiping toilets, you know? And And for me, just to make that transition, you know, where even people were, you know, they said a lot of bad things to me when I was wiping toilets. You know, girls wouldn't talk to me, stuff like that. But you know, so one thing is that nobody's gonna break me down. My biggest achievement so far is actually believing in myself and opening up a restaurant. I think through the whole life process, I didn't believe myself for a while. I think at like 20, I kind of got like, you know, I tried to become a firefighter, it didn't work, and you know, I kind of got lost in, you know, life, and I had to go through reality and stuff. And yeah, I think the biggest achievement is one, believing in myself, and two, and following through to opening up my restaurant and my dream and chasing it. I'm happy. I think since I opened up the restaurant, the life has been a movie. Even before life, I had to go through my trials and tribulations to be here, to be humble, to, you know, to open up a restaurant, to take criticism, to do everything. Because when I was wiping toilets, nobody respected me, society, the social norms, you know, so it gave me a perspective in life, you know. And now that I'm a restaurant owner, I'm the same guy that was wiping toilets 2-3 years ago, but now I just have a business. People talk to me differently, but yeah, the reality of things is, you know, like that, unfortunately. Typical day, I wake up like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we'll go to Costco. Most of the time something breaks in the restaurant I have to deal with, so I'm dealing with 100 problems. But yeah, we do grocery shopping, I go to the restaurant, I check in, I make the sauces, I see everything's good. There's always a problem, so I always gotta deal with a problem every day. But yeah, and then going there, just doing stuff, and then maybe I have to do some social networking or networking somewhere, stuff like that. So that, but I'm always cooking too, so. Always. I love to work. I'm a workaholic. I work 70 hours a week before I open up this restaurant, and I do 80 hours a week. I don't sleep or think. The restaurant's my life. Chicken Alfredo and the chicken rosé. I like rosé better than Alfredo, but the best seller is chicken Alfredo. There was times where I was in the restaurant, I only made $100. I'm sitting there, I'm like, do I know how to cook? Do I know how to run a restaurant? Like, you know, I had some bad times, really bad times, where should I listen to the people? Should I just went back to work? Should I went back to 9 to 5? Was this a very stupid decision? You know, but the next day is a new day, and you have to try it, right? Without trying, I didn't want to be on my deathbed and be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done it. The best I've ever heard was one day or day one. Now I'm in my second year. You know, I've cried many times, you know. I didn't think I was worthy or anything like that. I don't know, man, like I read a lot. Once I was in a really bad place, I read a lot about self-help books, and you know, and it changed me. But it took a while. It took me like a year or two, a couple years, just to make, you know, to change myself as a person. You know, it takes a while. You know, but you gotta, once again, believe in yourself. Patience, and if you do good, good comes back. So, you know, one of my experiences was like. I helped a lot of people. I never expected anything back, but I was living paycheck to paycheck. Life was hard, and I'm like, why is it that I'm good and nothing's good happening? But then the one thing I learned in the whole process was patience, sabr, you know? So there's a time and place for everybody. And yeah, and that time and place was for me at the age of 31 to start a business. It wasn't at 25, 22 for some people. There's a time and place for everybody. The next 5 years, I say opening up 1 to 2 more locations, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. I'm not really doing this for money. I'm doing this just for, you know, I love cooking, and you know, I like serving the community. Yeah, like when my brother got shot, you know, so that was like really bad. We all have PTSD over it. We lost some people too. You know, for me, it was just like people were looking at us like, you know, we're drug dealers or we're bad people. Just my brother was in a, you know, just a sticky situation at that time, you know. So looking at them, I know when my mom was going around telling people, oh, my younger brother got shot, they all looked at her like, yeah, your brother's a gangster. I mean, your son's a gangster, this and that. But look at us now, you know. We have 2 restaurants, we have 2 locations. You know, we're working hard, you know, we're selling halal food. We don't sell drugs, we don't do any of that. One, believe in yourself, no matter what. So even if you get knocked down in life, the only person that's gonna get you out of the situation is you. Don't rely on nobody. Don't think there's a ticket out of here. It's you. So believe in yourself. You might go through life, man. You might, if you go to university and you don't like your courses or whatever, that's life. You're not gonna like a lot of things. What you thought at 20 and when you turn 25 is completely different. And me, at 33, I never would have thought I would have been here. I thought I would have had kids, married, working a 9 to 5, house, but I'm here. So life takes you anywhere, but just be humble, be patient, and yeah, just be good. God is good. Yeah, we're always hiring.